On my first day, walking up to the long brick building that would be my new home for Tuesday mornings, I felt a nervous rush of excitement to see the classroom I would be placed in for the semester. As we turned the corner, there it was, room 32, my cooperating teacher's fifth grade classroom. I entered the class with the kids staring blankly and wondering who I could possibly be. At this point, I wondered what lied ahead. I can say now that since that moment, my thoughts of what it meant to be a teacher, what it meant to truly influence a student's progress, and what it meant to teach an extremely diverse classroom have all changed. Growing up in northern Baltimore County, I attended schools predominantly filled with white Caucasian students for my entire life upon deciding to continue my studies at the University of Maryland. When I entered the school of my field placement this year, there was much more diversity within the classrooms, with approximately 60% students of Hispanic backgrounds, 36% students of African American backgrounds, and only 2% students of white Caucasian backgrounds. In the fifth grade classroom that I have observed throughout the semester, a particular student caught my eye. He was sitting by himself in the corner of the room, staring at his desk while the other students worked diligently on their cause and effect assignments for the day. This was when I decided it was a good time to introduce myself to him. All of a sudden, his face seemed to light up. He smiled at me and said his name back. I asked him what he was working on, and he said that he was supposed to be working on a group worksheet with some other students in the class. Then he continued to add that he did not have any friends in the class, and he was so worried that none of the students liked him. He told me that he was excited that he had met me and wanted to work on the assignment with me. My initial thoughts of my student buddy were that he was a very timid and shy child, and that he probably just needed a little extra pushing to motivate him to do his schoolwork. It was then that I came to the conclusion that he was the student buddy that I wanted to work with throughout my field placement. I spoke with my cooperating teacher about my hope to work with him throughout the semester, and she said that this would be a great thing. My student buddy was diagnosed with Asperger's at a young age, causing him to learn a little differently than other students in the classroom. My teacher said that she thought it would be very beneficial for me to work with him throughout the semester because he seems to feel more comfortable around adults than other peers his age. I agreed with her and thought that it would be an amazing experience to see how much influence I can have on this child's life. I knew that I wanted to take more out of this field placement than any other work I had done in a school setting in the past. Now I can officially say that this has happened. One morning, my buddy told me that he had already lost recess for the day. He told me that he was sad, but it didn't matter because he doesn't have any friends to play with at recess anyways. He told me that he hasn't had friends for about 3 years, that the one friend that he had only lasted about a month. I was in complete shock. He then told me that he sees a specialist in the school to help him with bullying issues. I assured him that each Tuesday I would be there for him to rely on if he needed a friend to talk to. I was extremely surprised and taken back by this incident. I think that I felt this sense of shock because I had never expected him to open up to me as much as he did about his personal issues that he faces. This experience was one that I will never forget. My buddy was a child that I found to be so different from me, and I'm so humbled that I got the experience to help and watch him progress throughout the semester. He has reinforced me that students have a variety of different ways in which they learn. All students have their strengths, and all students have their weaknesses. It's important that as future teachers, we can address these issues and tailor our teaching to individual students as best as we can. I know that this will be hard, but through my experience as a 280 student, I have found that teaching can have its ups and downs, and no matter what, it will be a lot of work. As long as we are there for our students and are willing to adjust to our students' needs along the way, we can succeed and help to change the future of how children, such as my buddy, can achieve great things. Classrooms are not only learning communities, but our families. We need to build our future schools to be centers of trust where students feel comfortable with themselves and their surroundings. I have learned so much valuable information from this semester in terms of how I want to take on my future classroom. I have learned these valuable lessons not only from my cooperating teacher, but also from the students that I've been working with this semester. Students and teachers all continue to grow in a never-ending cycle. It's this relationship that builds us up to be the best educators that we can be.